What options are there out there for high school students who have no idea what direction to go after graduation? In this video, my goal is to relieve a bit of stress and confusion as I break down options that you have in education or career-wise after high school. And more importantly, the financial impact that each can have on your life. So hit that like button and let's get started. Hello there, my name is Caleb and my goal is to teach you financially what you may not have been taught in school. I'm truly honored that you're here. As I look back at my post-high school years, I really wish I had known all the options that high school graduates have, both educationally and career-wise. Now, ultimately, everything has worked out for me. I got a bachelor's degree in agricultural engineering and I'm working in my field, but what I didn't realize when I graduated high school is just how many career and education options there really are. So, let's get into it. First of all, you can get a bachelor's degree. This is an obvious option as the majority of high school graduates attend college at some point in their lives. Coming from someone with his 4-year engineering degree, this is a great path. It provides a lot of opportunities for jobs right out of school, at least when the economy is up and you have a good field of study. And a large number of jobs require a 4-year degree in order to be considered for a position. Personally, I like my job and it's provided an incredible number of learning and growth opportunities. Having said this, getting a 4-year degree can put you in an incredibly difficult financial situation for a long time after you graduate college. That's clear from the more than $1 trillion of student loan debt in America right now. Millions of people have bought into that 4-year degree as an absolute requirement thought process, and then question that mentality later when they've got suffocating student loans. Student loans are difficult to pay off. Someone actually just told me the other day that they've been paying on their student loans for more than 10 years and the value of that loan hasn't decreased at all. Now I want you to know I will never say that education is a bad thing. Education is much of the reason that I am who I am today. What I will say is that not all education is created equal. Some of it costs way more than others. It's easy to get caught in that gotta get a bachelor's degree thought process because everyone else is doing it. But is it worth the loans if you're not able to pay for it out of pocket? That can be a challenging question to answer, but maybe this will make it a little easier for you to answer it yourself. If you've chosen that you're gonna get a 4-year education, this is how I recommend doing it wisely so that you can set up yourself for the best future possible. 1. Don't go to school for the experience. This could be the most expensive experience that you will ever buy. Not worth it. If you go, know which field of education you're going into. And don't go jumping around in a bunch of majors. 2. Go to a community college in order to get your prerequisites out of the way. This is what I did and I don't regret it in the least. I spent 2 years at Columbus State before I went on to Ohio State to finish my degree. Now get this, 2 years at Columbus State costs less than 1 year at Ohio State. And I got all my prerequisite classes out of the way. Number 3, don't go to an out-of-state school unless scholarships make it well worth it. As an example, Ohio State, my alma mater, charges in 2021 $11,518 for in-state students and $33,502 for out-of-state students. That is an almost 3-fold increase in education costs just for being out of state. With no scholarships or grants, your student loans for your undergraduate education would end up being over $134,000 by the end of your 4-year education. I can't breathe. And number 4, go to a state school, not a private school. Many private schools have a similar price tag to out-of-state schools. So this is a finance channel. How do we pay for it all? Number 1, scholarships and grants. There are tons of these. You need to make it like an actual job looking for and applying to scholarships and grants. It might be the difference between stifling student loans and financial freedom right out of school. Number 2, get a job and work your butt off to pay for school. Pretty self-explanatory. Number 3, live at home if you can so that you can save as much money on living expenses as possible. Living on OSU campus in a dorm would cost you over $13,000 for 2 semesters. That is $4,000 more than what Bailey and I paid for our 2-bedroom apartment for an entire year. And that apartment was only 30 minutes north of Ohio State. And number 4, take college slower if you have to. This likely isn't a popular opinion, but taking college a little slower so that you can avoid student loans could make a huge difference on your freedom right after graduation. And please do not go into college banking on student loans being forgiven or college eventually becoming free. We just don't know enough about the future politically for you to take on that kind of risk just based on an assumption. All right, we covered college. Now let's look at the second option that you have for career and education after high school graduation, trade schools. This is likely the option that I would have taken taken if I hadn't gone to college. Trade schools are quickly becoming, in my opinion, one of the best possible ways to enter the workforce as a young person, or as an old person. First of all, trades are in high demand. Plumbers, electricians, welders, linemen, they're all trades. Not only do you get out of school in a much shorter period of time, generally 2 years or less, it's also much cheaper, and trades are high-paying jobs. With a shorter education, you're not losing out on that 2 to 3 more years of money-making opportunity just to get your 4-year degree. Mike Rowe, the host of the popular TV show Dirty Jobs, is a huge proponent for the trades. In his opinion, skilled labor is becoming a better and better option for high school students because of the training and financial benefits. The third big option that we're going to look at that you have after high school graduation is apprenticeships. Apprenticeships are another great option for getting into a career field. Generally, these are trades as well, but the best part is most of the time you get to earn money while you're receiving on-the-job training and education. And on top of that, many of these apprenticeships build towards certification in these industries. That means gaining valuable education that can be carried into other jobs while being paid to learn. Hey, patriotic Caleb here to remind financial Caleb to not forget the military in this video. Our United States military can be an excellent option right out of high school because it builds discipline and skills for a job that you could have your entire career. Not to mention there are a lot of opportunities to continue your education after your service through tuition assistance provided by the military. Or if you like the idea of going to college right out of high school, you can join the Army, Navy, or Air Force ROTC program at a major university. In exchange for agreeing to a specified time and service to our country, you can get your entire bachelor's degree tuition completely covered. And here are 2 honorable mentions for options that you have directly out of high school. But you know we gotta thank our sponsor, Smart Thermostats. I just replaced my old non-programmable thermostat with a new smart thermostat. I love it because I turn the temperature down every night before we go to bed, and sometimes I forget, and then I have to lay in bed thinking like, is the energy savings worth getting out of bed and walking downstairs to turn it down? The answer is most of the time yes, but now I don't have to worry about that because I've got my phone. I can turn it down straight from bed. Plus the smart thermostat is way cooler looking. Okay, here are the honorable mentions. 1. Just enter the workforce. Maybe you have a job opportunity that you want to pursue right out of high school. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I want you to be thinking about your future and your goals and whether you're able to accomplish those without any sort of further education after high school. Again, education is incredibly valuable and it might help you get where you want to go career-wise. Number 2, start a business. If you have an interest in a certain business endeavor, maybe it's time to pick it up and start a business of your own. I'm not going to pretend like this is an easy one by any means. From the small business endeavors that I've had, I can speak from experience that building a small business is incredibly difficult. However, it's certainly an option. I'll never tell you that you can't accomplish a business dream, but I will tell you that the statistics are pretty low for the number of small businesses that make it out of the first 5 years. Starting a business can be rewarding, but be wise in how you do it. The good news is that people all over the place hate to mow, they hate to paint. You could start a lawn care company or a painting business with a relatively low initial capital investment. All right, we made it through the options. Here's the thing, education is incredibly valuable. I don't want to discount that at all. But I also don't want to discount the fact that graduates from 4-year programs are becoming increasingly disappointed by the jobs available, or lack thereof, right out of school. And when saddled with $25,000 to $100,000 of student loans, regret for getting that education is the last thing that we want. On the other hand, trades can provide an incredible career opportunity, but it might not be in your passion. Not everyone is made for a 4-year education. Trust me, there were a bunch of times that I thought I wasn't made for it. College was so hard for me. And not everyone is made for taking on a trade. Regardless, I wanted to give you the option so that you could make the most educated decision you can as you reach one of the most transformative stages of your life. For whatever it's worth, I've been where you're at. I have been confused about career direction and incredibly stressed about making the wrong decision. That's why I wrote a book called Graduated and Clueless: How to Live Like an Adult When Life is Confusing. In it, I tackle a lot of the bigger adulting topics, like jobs, finances, retirement, dating, and some others. And it's free as a Kindle download from Amazon if you'd like to read it. So let me pass this question on to you. What direction are you considering in career and education? Or if you've been through this stage of life, how did you make those decisions? I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. And as always, hit that like button and subscribe button and notification bell because I would really appreciate it. And remember, money doesn't have to be confusing. You can control it. All right, I'm off to write another script for yet another video. Thanks for hanging out.